I truly do not understand why this person would think Classic Plus isn't happening with everything we got out there, and it's so clear that Blizzard wants us to know that they're doing Classic Plus, because this is purely a PR move by Blizzard. Inviting streamers that truly don't care about Classic Plus whatsoever, they only care about their money and their wallet being padded. Maybe say for Asfend, I think Asfend is truly the one passionate about Classic Plus, and maybe Guzo. I do kind of like his videos and stuff. I watched him recently. Like, great guys. Like, the others, they don't really care. They don't really care. All they do is use Classic Plus as a platform to milk more gold from their viewers. And, yeah, I think Blizzard just want them for hype. It's all a PR move. All of it.
I'm gonna hide this. I will show this to you guys someday. Okay? I will show you guys these notes someday.
Yeah, it's definitely Classic Plus.
But these are the things that I talked about.
And I was like telling them, wow, I guess that will come phase 2. Yeah, you know, listen, I got some notes here, right? And I'm going to release this, if you guys don't mind, over here at the Blizzard headquarters with my community. So just give me a second. It's nothing serious, though. So
Caller
anyways,
Holly Longdale.
Have the WoW
You can't say anything.
What was that?
We
what was
did
that,
not
Holly?
allow you to say anything.
Oh, I
No,
can't
you
tell them
cannot.
this.
No, I'm
Man, it's like a setup for a horror film. Jesus, that's crazy. Imagine you wake up in the middle of the night, you go to grab a glass of water, and you see this in the hallway. What do? You immediately yell Warcraft because it will scare her away. It's crazy. Dude, that's absolutely wild. Yo, man, I'm a new sub here. I like your style. You're like Asmongold, except you're a nice dude. Thank you. I'll take that.
more than sure.
I mean, I think Asmon is nice. I like Asmongold. Maybe it's just me.
Over the years of private servers and grinding and just pushing through the motions, really
It doesn't
understanding the WoW
matter what you're
community.
saying right now, dumbass.
Oh, so none of us can play Classic Plus while we're here. You didn't invite us to actually test anything. So not Zaryu Gold and the homeboys.
No, we didn't invite you guys to play
damn
Classic
it.
Plus.
All right, well,
have you guys here to brainstorm.
I guess I'll just wave this around
That's all we're doing
stream
is building
and,
hype.
You know, we'll keep
There
it
is
super
nothing to test.
encrypted with the Lango, like, you know, how Blizzard usually does, how you guys do.
You're just promotion material.
You know, we'll talk about it at a
That's
certain
fine. Wave
date.
the notepad. You don't
So
even
we're
have
not
anything
playing
written
Classic
down
Plus
on
at
it.
all? We can't even at least, you know, see the new zones?
Do you want me to cut your contract?
Oh, there hasn't been any development yet.
Because I will cut your salary right now.
Oh, okay. You just want us to discuss things and come up.
Holly would never speak this way. He actually did not nail her cadence. I'm very, very disappointed from this short skit of his. I'm very, very disappointed because Holly would invite you into HR department and there would be like 6 Karen standing in a circle. You'll be sitting in the middle and they would like throw obscenities at you. They would be like, okay, first, you weren't inclusive enough. Second, you look too manly. We need to tone it down. Third, screw you, you're fired for being a man, as that's it.
With ideas, like we have been since Nostarius.
Yes,
okay,
discuss.
Roger,
That's what you're good
Roger.
at. Just yap.
That's
Just
interesting.
yap,
I didn't know you
please.
guys inhabited a turtle aquarium in the back. Okay, I won't leak that yet then. No problem. I guess we'll fly back home, back to LA and Texas. I'll see you then. Now listen, I understand that these guys have got sent over to Blizzard because they are on the list of being people that are respectable towards the company and they care about the World of Warcraft community as well.
Of course they care about the WoW community. They need people to give them gold while they yap about other things. What are you talking about? Of course they care. Of course they... And you know, I watch, like, listen, no shade to any of them. I do respect the hustle. I respect the grind to a certain degree, okay? But standing in Stormwind and being like, oh, thank you so much. Oh, I can't believe you gave me 1k gold. That's crazy. And immediately forget about them later. Bruh, that's cringe, okay? If Blizzard truly wanted people to test Classic Plus, there are hundreds of more streamers that, yes, they are on a smaller scale that could test your game. 100%. But it's never about testing. It's purely a PR move. Everyone knows that. Like, literally, don't be dumb.
I personally think that these guys got sent over there to not play Classic Plus whatsoever. I actually think that the Blizzard developers are so smart that they don't want to see a person play Classic Plus at the current moment. Whether it's some kind of supposable family friends testing that might be commenced when they were there, I don't even think that's the case either. I don't believe in any of this
Really?
internal private testing that these selected few got to play, because I think Blizzard is way more smart than that. They don't want to see another content creator blow up to that extent where they become so big for their own good that they have a whole new following, and that's just going to be a bad negative reputation for their game. Henceforth, the people like Asmongold of the
I don't know how you made that connection really, but he's right. Like I spoken about this before. Blizzard clearly don't want another Asmongold. We already know that, but how did it make that connection to like Classic Plus testing? I'm like that part kind of confused me. Maybe it like flew over me.
world who got too big for
Maybe
World
you
of
guys can
Warcraft
explain
and
it better.
moved on. I don't think they want to see that again.
By the way, caught subscribe to Asmongold live. We caught you. We caught you.
I don't think they want anybody to have
Yeah.
any
By the way, so do I.
internal conflicts with their company when it comes to being aligned with the World of Warcraft brand. So they're not going to make any of these guys actually test Classic Plus and see what's behind the scenes, the new zones, the new classes. I think these guys just went in there. I think they asked them about a series of questions about ideas that they want to implement within Classic Plus and what they potentially might be working on.
So you think they put them in an interrogation room and be like, yo, what do you think about inclusivity? What do you think about the Dark Spear Troll Dash Rainbow Run? Huh? What do you think, punk? Like, do you think it's good or not? Or maybe they didn't yell. Maybe they just, again, like, speak in some sort of a weird, contrived Gen Z lingo. And they lock them inside of a room filled with Funko Pops. That could definitely be the case. I could see that happening in Blizzard. Maybe he has a point.
And maybe showcase some behind the scenes drawing or possible outlines of what they want to add to X amount of zones within the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalmador. And then these individuals had their own suggestions, of course, S-Fin's notepad, notorious notepad at this point, right? You know, wave around the notepad, he's got the classified files. But I think it's like stuff like that, which was basically the conversation over the weekend on what actually happened. And I think a lot of people have it in their mind right now that there was legitimate Classic Plus testing that happened over the weekend, and these streamers got to play it. I don't think that was the case at all.
At least it wasn't the Lakari notepad. Fuck you, this was so good.
With all due respect. As a
How do
matter
you
of
know?
fact, I'm even putting 2 and 2 together at this point now, as you've seen the Mad Season video today that came out, and there's a lot of great points that he even made as well, which the one point I want to showcase here is that when he was talking about Nostarius, when they got shut down, and then eventually in time, Classic 2019 came out, Turtle WoW is now the most popular private server in the world that recently just got shut down. Now, I understand they're probably moving to something else. I've heard the rumors, but we're just talking about Turtle WoW here. Turtle WoW in the next couple days is about to be shut down for good. And the fact that Turtle WoW and
Unfortunately.
Nostarius from back in the day have so much similarities to the next actions that Blizzard conducts, I find very, very intriguing because it's very similar when you hold it side by side. Nostarius gets put down, 2019 comes around. Turtle WoW gets put down, and now Classic Plus is on the cusp or on the rise. Will Classic Plus drop at BlizzCon, like I think a lot of people are assuming? Oh my gosh,
Yes.
it's dropping at BlizzCon. It's going to happen that exact week. Hell no. I do not think
Really?
it's ready by any means necessary. And if I'm wrong, please, I want to be wrong. I love to be wrong on things so I can, catch myself in the future and say, hey, I was dumbass back then. I don't mind doing that. That's self-accountability. I'm more happy to do that.
Well, first, based. Second, I'll tell you why you're wrong. Because right now, we have Mist of Pandaria Classic. Now, we all know that even Blizzard isn't stupid enough to try and pull off Warlords of Draenor Classic, okay? Ain't nobody playing Garrisons again. Ain't nobody waiting for the Twitter selfie patch, okay? Nobody's doing that. The only way I can see them actually releasing WoD Classic is if they skip all the Garrison stuff, they give it to you for free, and they solely focus on the raids. I can see that happening. Like 1 year of pure raiding, and that's it. This I can see. But nobody going back to table mission, son. Literally no one. Okay? So we already know that. Now, Mr. Pandaria has a short time span because it's already like nearing its last patch. So Mr. Pandaria is about to be over, and Blizzard needs to fill that void. Now, how will they fill it? They can skip back to Legion because they already done Legion Remix, and the reason they've done Legion Remix is because they wanted to skip Warlords of Draenor. They're not gonna do that again. So now, they're waiting to reveal Classic Plus. They have been working on it, and honestly, you shouldn't look too deep into it, because you know that Blizzard always follow the money. And they saw TurtleWow was pulling 500,000 players to a private server, which is insane, because private servers are not trusted by many people, and many people just don't hear about them. Even though TurtleWow was very, very popular within the community, people from the outside never really heard of it. Unlike World of Warcraft, which is very popular to even like normie people that, you know, don't usually play video games. That was so strong about World of Warcraft. It has an insane pull and cultural impact. TurtleWow obviously didn't. Like, people who play TurtleWow, they played WoW previously. They never were a new players to... They were never introduced to World of Warcraft through TurtleWow. I bet like 1% of players were actually like that. But most people who play TurtleWow are World of Warcraft Blizzard refugees. So, yeah, Blizzard saw that they were pulling so many players in, and they wanted to cash in on that. It's honestly just that simple. I mean, it's RAF, not WOD. What do you mean? Well, what do you mean? The main problem with WOD was the pacing, since they barely had content. If they redo it now, they could just make the content release at a better rate. That wasn't the only problem with Warlords of Draenor. If you think that, I don't know what to tell you. The entire expansion was trash. I know, because I came into World of Warcraft during Warlords of Draenor. That was my first introduction to World of Warcraft, and I remember clearly thinking, what the hell is that garbage game? Yeah, it's okay. Wait, Blizzard leaked Classic Plus? How many micros have they forced? No, don't worry. The microtransaction reveal is going to happen when the game launch. 100% they're going to do some sort of a mount release that is tied to it, and WoW token is going to be present day one. You bet on it. It's going to be just like TurtleWow, but with RMP and bots infested everything.
But I'm willing to bet with you guys that it's not going to drop at BlizzCon, and it's going to be announced at BlizzCon. You're going to see an announcement for Classic Plus. They'll talk about it a little bit, but it's not going to happen right away. There's no shot that they're going to release something so massive, and it's going to work perfectly out the gate day one at BlizzCon. It's just unrealistic. And if it does happen, the servers are going to be so jam-packed that you want...
It will happen like 2 months later, something like that. It's never going... The announcement is going to be dropped on BlizzCon, and it will be just to generate hype and sell early access packages with like mounts and cosmetics and all that stuff.
Won't be able to log in for hours. It's going to be a massive catastrophe, in my personal opinion, if they decide to do that at BlizzCon. And I think they're going to announce Classic Plus at BlizzCon, which I don't see a problem with that at all. But to say
so he knows
it's going to be coming out at BlizzCon or a month from then, from BlizzCon,
it will.
I think it's just unrealistic. It doesn't really line up in the time frame of when Asterius got shut down and 2019 came about, and then the time frame of BlizzCon this year and when Classic Plus is going to happen.
No, but you see, Blizzard needs that graph to go up before their quarterly update with the shareholders. You see, it's all for the shareholders meeting. They don't care about logic or sensible stuff whatsoever. It's purely for their next financial meeting.
Even when TurtleWow's shutting down, it's going to be shut down in a couple days from now, and you're telling me 4 months after that we're getting Classic Plus? It just doesn't line up. I don't think things are in the stars and so well connected as...
They're not in the stars. They're in the dollar bills.
As much as people think. And
you're looking the wrong way.
Intriguing to me that I think follows up the evidence of nobody actually knowing what's going on with Classic Plus at all. He basically said on May 7th, I don't know anything about anything, what anyone thinks yet. Just talking about my own things I've been thinking about on stream forever. And S-Fan does this. I like S-Fan a lot. He's a good dude. I'm very familiar with his content.
Obviously, he's baiting here. Like, he knows.
Thinks about stuff. Hypotheticals. He's a big Paladin guy. He's been thinking about theory crafting for years. This is what he does. And it's totally normal. A lot of people theory craft, and I think it's fine. But at the same time, when you look at the posts with, you know, the notepad incident, which we're going to call that now, the notepad incident, and he's just waving it around... In my idea...
No, we already have a notepad incident. It's not the one you're speaking about.
All that means is that they had ideas.
We have that already.
About them in office with what can work, what won't work. But if you're thinking about it logically now, and you take a step back and you put Blizzard and all these streamers there in the office together, think about it like this. Does that sound like a Classic Plus or a version of a game that's ready yet to be released in the next 4 months? think about it logically here. Open your eyes and don't listen to content creators who keep acting like they know what the hell is going on.
That is actually the problem, brother. You're thinking logically. When was the last time Blizzard did anything that responded with logic? When? Let me know. I'll wait.
These guys who are the biggest content creators in
And
the
we're
scene,
talking about the company who literally shipped the last midnight patch with a command prompt bug inside of a raid. You have the Lua error bug inside of the game as we speak. Or maybe they fixed it in like a hotfix. I never got updated on that. But as of like 2 weeks ago, it was still in the game. It's crazy. And it was live during PDR and they still shipped it. And what are we talking about here? They don't make sense whatsoever. You literally cannot explain anything made by Blizzard. It's so random. You just have to pray.
and one of them is saying that they don't know anything about what's happening yet for Classic Plus. And you got S-Fan waving around a notepad like we're brainstorming in kindergarten on what's the next, topic we're going to talk about for the day, in class for the fun activity. I'm sorry, nobody knows what the hell's going on then. Yes, they got invited to the office. Yes, they are
They do
under
know.
Blizzard's good
They do
guy
know.
list, probably, in my opinion. They are considered the good folk of World of Warcraft, and much love to them. But that doesn't mean that anything is really going on at all besides questions that the developers had for the bigger creators who they are cool with, and they brainstormed ideas. That, once again, I'm sorry, doesn't sound like a Classic Plus that is yet ready to be released. Sure, have they crafted up a trailer maybe? Of course. Are they going to talk about it a little bit and maybe put a PowerPoint up like an Excel sheet like they did with Season of Discovery when they were going through a PowerPoint and talking about things that they're going to introduce? Yeah, no problem. But do I think there's going to be a live demo like Season of Discovery for Classic Plus at BlizzCon, and then we're going to see an announcement a week after that it's dropping right away? I don't think so, and I want to be wrong, truthfully. I cannot wait to come back to this video, mark the day of May 9th, and I can say,
Hey there,
Tello,
Arzenberg, thank
you
you.
were wrong about this, and I will be happy because it shows me Blizzard truly is trying to get out this product as soon as possible and deliver something awesome for all of us to play.
They do, and I'll tell you why. The reason they shut it down Turtle WoW is because they wanted to cash in quick. It's that simple. Right now, Turtle WoW has been shut down, right? No, I mean, it will shut down in like a couple more weeks, I think. And after that, all of the people that play this server are up for grabs. And the moment Blizzard would make the experience available on their servers, most people could cough up a few bucks and pay for a subscription. So right now, Blizzard wants to cash in quick on the desperation and disgruntled nature of WoW refugees such as myself who are looking for that Classic Plus experience and draw us back into the game. 100%.
Play, and I look forward to that. But if you're telling me that these individuals just went over there to the weekend and they're only brainstorming stuff, that's a very alarming thing for me to believe as a WoW creator who understands this business at this point and can understand the way people go about stuff, how the people in the scene hype stuff up, the in-between line details that you as the community really don't get to see when it comes to this content creation stuff. I can understand the gimmick. I can understand the overhyping of stuff to get people excited, but pump the brakes real quick, because last year when we got excited about this stuff, nothing happened. We got no announcement. It was just housing, and it was about the retail stuff. This year, we hoped...
But the leaks weren't as profound as it is now. Now it's pretty much like 99% confirmed. Back then it was like, what, 50? So, yeah, like, now it's pretty more than likely to happen. But I guess we have to wait and see.
To see an announcement, but to say there's going to be a playable version of Classic Plus and it's going to drop on the date of BlizzCon or even within the month time span, I don't think so. I think we're going to see Classic Plus in 2027 realistically. I don't know what month 2027, but I think that's the date. And I think that's going to be acceptable, and I'm looking forward to the future of trying it out.
It can happen, but I don't think so.
For everyone.
No, I think they would drop it 2026. I think they will. I think there's a reason for why they made BlizzCon earlier. Because usually it's November. Now it's September. It's 2 months earlier than usual. Why would they ever do that? Unless they wanted to cash in quick and they planned Turtle WoW shutdown ahead. I think they did that on purpose. Everything.
Absolutely not. There's going to be stuff in there that people are not going to like. Heavy monetization because they want to continue this for many years to come, and it's understandable. You have to have monetization for something that's going to be lasting a
Instead of making the game good, just release more plushies. Absolutely 100% agree.
long time. So that's just a business decision. But
I cannot wait for the day Blizzard abolished traditional subscriptions and just forces you to pay like $1 per minute inside of the game. That would be a hoot. That would actually be fun. That would be the Blizzard experience.
Please everybody on the gameplay side of things, from the PvE side of things, from the PvP side of things. That I'm not too sure of. And my only concern or fear at this point is that there's going to be too many cooks in the kitchen that give too many ideas that add to the game that is really not needed for the heart and soul of what classic or vanilla WoW truly is. Now, I want them to add more zones. I want them to add more questing. I want there to be an RP element that is more beautiful than ever before, and it feels like you're everlasting and a breathing and alive Azeroth more than before, and it feels like you're constantly going back to the previous zones and you're venturing through the world, and you never leave a zone abandoned with nobody there to tell a story. That's something that I hope for the heart and soul of Classic WoW and Classic Plus to thrive in the future. But I don't know their vision and what they're going to put within Classic Plus, because here's the thing that nobody is telling you guys right now. Nobody understands what is going on in Classic Plus unless you're a developer. I might have to repeat that for some people twice so they can get that through their head, because we have a lot of ego Andes in the community, in the content scene. People need to understand this once again. Nobody knows what's going on in Classic Plus unless you're a developer. Unless you're making the game and you're in the studio, you're the only person who has an idea, a fathom of a thought of what is being put within the game on a coding level. If you are not on that level, if you're not that job category, you're just a person throwing hype for the game, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy because you need those people to hype the game. But no one has an ounce of information of what's actually being put into the product if they don't work for the product. That needs to be said, because I really think some of these people out here believe that they work with Blizzard Entertainment and they're getting a 401k Benny package with salary plus retirement plan after it's all done. That's not the...
Yeah, plus getting refrigerated loot reserved for them. Of course, they need that milk. Yeah, true. I understand what he says here. Some people do speak like they already know what's going to be inside of Classic Plus. There's a lot of things flying around right now, and I do understand why he's a bit frustrated on that. Personally, I really don't care. I love the generated hype. I like that people come up with theories and, tell about what they would like to see inside of the game, what is their version of Classic Plus. I love the shared experience. It just reminds me again that we're all MMO lovers. You don't see that in retail anymore, so I do really like that.
Case. So let the developers do their thing, let them cook, let them bring up whatever recipe they got to come out. Hopefully it's a fresh creme brulee, because I'm hungry lately. And for whatever they decide to do for the future for the game, when that time does come and it arrives normally and unexpectedly, which I think that's the best part about it, seeing something that just unexpectedly happens, whether that is a shadow drop or something of that nature in the next year to come, I'm looking forward to that. But once
shadow drops rarely works. It works for certain games. It doesn't work for like 99% of the stuff you haven't even heard about. So yeah, Blizzard I don't think would never do a shadow drop like that. They would want to generate hype. This entire thing is a PR stunt, and like that's my opinion on it.
Again, I
may be wrong, but that's what I think.
Super high. I'm gonna keep them real low because this is Blizzard after all. And I have to make sure that we keep it down here and not overexcite ourselves for the next couple months and set ourselves for failure. Only if it's just a trailer. And I think that's the best way of looking about it. And I've seen some like conspiracy theorists online. They're trying to analyze the S-Fans photo of like the TBC portal. What happens if it never opened? Jordy thought about this on the Classic Plus project a couple months before talking about this. about the Classic Plus TBC, it never opened the portal, and now we're staying in Azeroth, and the trailer came out. I know you guys saw this. I saw this too. We all saw this online. This was stuff that was already discussed, so this is nothing new. And I think people are just getting overhyped because they're so desperate to want to play something new from Blizzard that they'll take anything at this point. As long as it's not retail and classic WoW again for the 80th time, like we're going through Skyrim over and over and over. I think genuinely that's people's like reaction. They're just very desperate for something new. They're praying and clinging that Daddy Blizzard provides something right away. And I think at Blizzard...
Come on, man. You know we're grasping at straws. Why are you doing us dirty like that? Shame on you. Shame on you.
Blizzcon, when Blizzard does make the announcement of Classic Plus, if they decide to do so at this particular event, because this is the only time for them to announce something, which I don't think is a problem at all, for the announcement at least, I don't think Blizzard is going to be capable of actually pleasing the entire crowd and the community of World of Warcraft on when Classic Plus is going to be able to be played. And people will vocalize their annoyance online with the fact that they have to wait, quote unquote, a certain amount of time to even play Classic Plus. Sure, will more Theorycraft videos come out at that time? 100%. Will more people be hyped about the game more than ever before because we actually have an announcement? 100%. And all that is justified. But at the current moment, I find it really funny how everyone is just grasping at straws right now on the internet.
He said it.
Whether it's 4chan, Reddit, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Discords, people in-game in the WoW community, both retail and classic, talking about it. Doesn't matter where you're discussing Classic Plus. I find it very funny that everyone's trying to find some type of leak of information, even if it's AI generated, which I've seen this AI generated post at this point now, where it's just talking about, oh, it's going to have this type of new ability in this new zone and this new area. It's getting really desperate at this point where it is like, geez Louise, these people need to really calm down and just take a break and enjoy what you got right now. The future is not here yet, and when it does happen at BlizzCon, I think people are still going to be disappointed on how long they have to wait until play Classic Plus. I just want to keep it real with you guys.
But to be honest, this desperation actually quite shows the opposite. It shows how important it is for Blizzard to not miss out on their window. It just goes to show that right now is the money time. They really need to cash in quick. Because I truly would like to play Classic Plus as soon as November. At the very least, right? If I'd have to wait a year for it, it would suck. Like, I would make it, obviously. But it would really, really take the taste out of it. So, you don't want to put anything bitter. You really want to satisfy everyone. And, like, you know, hit the iron while it's still hot.
If you want to live in the realistic world and understand how these things work, that's the side I like to lean on the most, because I understand this stuff from a business perspective, on top of the fact of being a content creator myself and getting how to hype things months before something comes out, or being involved in the scene and trying to build some type of community around something, versus living in the fantasy world and saying that this is actually going to happen with no information, no proof, no eyewitnesses, nobody actually in the developer studio making the game, because that's where I feel a lot of people are leaning right now, is this fantasy world, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's going to displease people and not please people as much as they think when the time does come. So don't be alarmed if things don't go your way, amigos. I will say, if I had to be a conspiracy theorist for a little bit here, I do think there's some other projects on the rise that will definitely happen after the continuation of the anniversary timeline that we're in right now, and go through its final release for these versions of the game. That's just
they're
my
not going to
opinion.
do World of Warcraft. They're not going to do Worlds of Warcraft Classic. Anyway, seems to be the end of the video. Great video by this guy again. I mean, I'm gonna leave a link in the description. You guys should watch it for yourself. He's a pretty great dude. I really like his stuff, so make sure you give him a like. He truly does deserve it.